since Baldur's Gate 3 came out, after more than a month, there is only a game that managed to make me take the game on pause. I have a lot of guides on YouTube, and I had to stop publishing my guides too, because I'm playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links after the update that introduced the Rush Duel world. Like, it could really look crazy, but yes, I think, not only I think that Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links is the best and the bigger Yu-Gi-Oh! Game ever, but now I will explain you why, and you have to agree with me, unfortunately, because this is not some biased opinion, this is 100% the truth. Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links is the bigger project that Konami ever had with Yu-Gi-Oh! It's a game that unfortunately is still some way old, so it's a game that will keep struggling comparing to other modern games like Marvel Snap and other good competitive card games, like for example Gwent and Legends of Runeterra. But it's a game that actually has a lot of art and a lot of anime content. It's an amazing game for people that are drawn by nostalgia, and it's also a lot of fun. And with the introduction of Rush Duel Links, you can enter the game without not too many worries, because the game is not overwhelming. It's very easy. So when you enter like this, you enter in the Duel Monsters world. There are a lot of worlds. There are now 8 worlds. You enter in this world here. You do tutorial. After tutorial, you can download the full game. It has a lot of cards. I think we are very close to having the full card pool of the true TCG card pool. So you start with this world, and from this world there are these stages here. You click here, and you do some objectives, and you unlock new stages. And by unlocking new stages, you can then unlock new worlds. So we have 8 worlds. Like in this game, we have 8 worlds, and for every world, we have multiple characters. Look at this, and you can unlock and play all of them. By playing, the characters level ups, and by leveling up, you get some unique cards, sometimes gems, skills, tickets that lets you unlock other cards. This is how the game works. The free-to-play part of the game works. You need gems to buy cards. You get gems by leveling up characters. You get gems by clicking some parts of the overworld. There are 4 screens. These screens changes based on the world, and by clicking on some of these parts, you can get gems. Sometimes, if you get some gems already, you won't get. It's harder to get more gems. I will show you the worlds, and meanwhile I keep talking. So there is Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, and Master Duel is a much cheaper Yu-Gi-Oh! Actually, but Master Duel also has a very crazy big card pool, so it's obvious that they need to make that game more free to play. But it's also true that Master Duel is a much easier game to do compared to Duel Links. Like in Master Duel, they just add some cards, and essentially that's it. Events are just some PvP events where they just change some rules. Instead, in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, they had to add a character. They had to add the voice lines of the character. They add the skills, effects, a lot of things, and the events not only gives you new cards, but also sometimes gives you new way of dueling. A lot of things are added in the game, and this is not just a game where you use your character and your character has voice lines. This is also a game that has a story, that includes the story of every Yu-Gi-Oh! And at the same time, he has a story and a lore of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. While you play the events and you read the dialogues of the characters, you have the chance to understand what's the story of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. Because, for example, these characters know that they can play against each other, that there are players from different worlds, they know this. And sometimes, like, they ask questions, like talking about other worlds, talking about the outer world, talking about other dimensions. Some of these characters have objectives. For example, some of them talk about the fact that there could be a war, so they need to be prepared and they need to keep training at dueling. Otherwise, if a war starts between dimensions, they could not be ready and strong enough. Some of them uncover the truth about the fact that, for example, if you go into Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, right? There are multiple versions of the main character. So, like, how can they manage this thing? Like, there is Jaden Yuki, then there is Jaden Yubel, and then there is the Super King Jaden. And this is not just something that happens to you because you're the player and you can choose. During the event, they say things like, wait, why is Super King Jaden here? We already defeated him. Oh, well, it's that possible. And their conclusion is that in this world, in the world of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, some characters are created by memories. So they think that they are the true character that enter the world and it's playing into the world. Because, for example, in some worlds, like Yu-Gi-Oh! Reigns, they are happy to be here and they say, "Whoa, it's so fun! We entered Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. Where are the others? I hope that they will enter soon, so that we can play in this new world." For example, Vrain's characters say or think that Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links is a part of Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains, that is another anime digital world. Instead, in Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc V, they talk a lot about memories, and they are characters that can coexist at the same time. So some think that they are the normal one. At the same time, they think that through their memories, new characters will come out. And characters that are gone forever, they hope that they will come out because they want to meet that character again. Instead, when Yu-Gi-Oh! 7 starts, there are a bunch of dialogues that I won't spoil you, that makes you think otherwise, makes you think that these guys don't think like they are the real one. They are confused, and could be possible that the truth is that obviously no one of these guys is a true character, but they're all made of memories. Like, there is such an amazing meta-narrative in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links that makes this game, in my opinion, very, very valuable. For, again, not only the story of every single Yu-Gi-Oh! World, because there are events that make you relive the story of the animes, right? Of every of these animes, so of every Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime. But there is also the Duel Links story and lore that is really interesting and amazing. These are the standard duelists. For example, now there is one. If there are more than one, you can play in multiple number. Like, you play just one, but it's like you are playing more than one. So you get double, triple, sometimes even 5 times the rewards. So it's faster. For example, you have 10. If you have the pass, you can play 1, and it's like playing 5 at a time. So just two duels, you can get rewards of 10 duelists and a lot of experience that make your character level up very fast and get gems. You can play legendary duelists that appears here in the overworld. You can enter the gate and select the legendary duelist you want to play, but you need these things here that you grab by just playing the game. As you can see, I have a crazy amount of. Then you can play in the PvP area. You can play Rush Duel and Speed Duel. They are separate. So you can play your favorite format. Speed Duel is more complex, more similar to modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Where you try to build a board with a bunch of negations and interruptions, and then use them during the enemy turn to stop him from playing, then attack and win. In Rush Duel instead we have this new format, very similar to the original Yu-Gi-Oh! But in Rush Duel you draw 5 cards every turn, and you can normal summon as many monsters as you want. So the format is more based on fighting back and forth until one of the two players wins. We don't have a lot of traps right now, so it's a very easy format where you need to outsmart your opponent by choosing when you attack at the right time, choosing when to put the monsters in defense, to grab the nice card you need in your hand, and then try to attack to finish off your opponent instantly without lowering your defense. So it's a format that needs you to be very smart instead of just like playing the same combo every time, always the same, like in Speed Duel and Master Duel. This game is, in my opinion, much more dynamic right now, even if you have a very small amount of cards. So you can play multiple format. You can play some casual duels, friend duels. You can watch your plays, watch stats. There are a lot of things you can do. Here, for example, we can take a look at the popularity rankings. That way you can maybe decide what cards you would like to get. Let's take a look at the shop. In the shop there are a lot of sections. You can enter boxes, enter decks, and just buy a deck. If you buy the deck multiple times, you can have up to 3 copies of the deck. You can buy the deck usually with gems the first time. Sometimes they give you a deck for free, and then usually the third one or the second one you need to buy it for with money if you really want 3 copies of the cards. In the special section sometimes there are other things, or you can grab some bundles. Bundles are a good way to grab a lot of packs from the decks by not spending a lot of money. So it are very good if you want to spend some money, buy bundles, because bundles will give you some cards, unique cards, plus a big amount of cards for boxes. As you can see, there are a lot of boxes for Speed Duel, and now Rush Duel was implemented. So let's see how boxes works to complete this review. Differently from other games, in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, boxes are not random. Like in this box, there are 140 packs. Now there are just 2 remainings. In these 140 packs, there is a copy of every ultra rare. In this case, there are 2 copies of every super rare, and then a lot of copies of the other rarities. Okay. So what happens is that every time you grab a pack here, the cards remaining diminish. So when we are very close to the end, for example here there are just 2 packs left, there are no cards remaining. Here I have just 1 SR remaining and a bunch of other rarities cards. This means that if I want another copy of this card, since this is the last super rare remainings, by buying 1 pack or 2 packs at most, since I completed the box, I will have 100% the last copy of this card. This means that, for example, if this pack has 140, this box has 140 packs, by spending 50 gems for 140, it means 7,000 gems. By spending 7,000 gems, you will have 100% at least a copy of every ultra rare, at least a copy of every super rare. And at that point, you will be able to reset the box. If the box ends, it automatically resets. Otherwise, if you're so lucky to get all the cards you want, for example, you want all the ultra rares, when I opened this box, the first time I managed to get all the ultra rares, and I still had 20 packs left, and I resetted because I only wanted the ultra rares before resettings. Because since the super rares are 2, when you will reset the second time, you will manage to get 3 copies of the super rares already. The ultra rares are the ones that it's harder to get. so you need to reset after you get the first copy of every ultra rare. For example, if I want only 7 Raw Magician and multi-set Dragon Dragias, I can buy packs, and as soon as I get 1 copy of this and 1 copy of this, I can just reset the box already. So it's very cheap if you are smart, if you open smart. So Duel Links don't have a system that lets you scrap cards to get other cards, and you need to use gems or money, but it's not so hard to get everything you want almost for free, right? And if you don't want to spend money, you can very easily, every time there is a new box, if you play the game, it's very easily have so many gems that you can at least get 1 copy or 2 copies sometimes of every card without ever spending money. So you can almost every time have at least 1 or 2 copies of everything. This means that even if you don't want to play competitively, you can at least try the cards, try the decks, maybe not in their full power version, right? But you can still at least try the cards and enjoy playing your favorite anime character. So Duel Links is a very accessible game. When you start the game, there are a lot of characters. It means that every of the characters have gems, so potentially you can really build whatever deck you want since the start because of all of the gems you can get from that character. And when you open the game, you get a lot of gems since the start. Now you have two modes of playing. You can play Rush Dueling at the start, for example, since it's much easier. And when you get all of the content from Rush Duel, you can start, maybe if you want, playing other Yu-Gi-Oh! Speed Duel and starting grabbing cards there. The card pool is much bigger, of course, in the normal Speed Duel, and there are 7 words there, while here the 7th word is the name of the single word of Rush Dueling. A new event is about to arrive that will make you unlock a new character, so we will have 5 characters for Rush Duel, and at the end of October we'll get another event that will make you unlock another character, probably from Yu-Gi-Oh! Reigns. So as you can see, since Rush Duel come out, we'll probably get more amazing events where you have new characters, new line of dialogues, new kind of duelings, new funny things that happens during the event. This is a very big game. This is 100% the best Yu-Gi-Oh! Game ever. At least the game where they put the most effort into making something unique, something amazing. Characters are fun, events are fun, there is a competitive mode. If you really go into the game, you can find tournaments hosted by a lot of people and try to compete against other guys. This game has everything. So in my channel you can find a lot of guides. A guide about building a deck, where I help you learning how to build a good deck that doesn't break and wins a lot of games. And other guides about very strong decks. I have at least 3 right now, and I will keep uploading new decks while the game develops. I'm not Jake, thank you for watching. You can find me on comments or live on Twitch almost every day during the afternoon usually. You find the hours I stream in the description of this video. Have a nice day. Bye bye!